Friday. Hell yeah, baby. Of course, you work tomorrow. Sorry. What are we looking at today? We are looking at Celsius. Sparkling alcohol, non-alcohol water. Actually, I really like these. And since I introduced this to Christine, she goes, I'm noticing positive effects. And it's, I don't know, you're going to say, well, come on, it's like a freaking Red Bull. Oh, no, it's not like a Red Bull. This does not have high fructose corn syrup, no aspartame, no preservatives, no artificial colors and flavors, 7 essential vitamins, 6, proven in 6 published university studies. How does it work? Well, you drink it. No, it doesn't say that. It says that proprietary Meta Plus formula. I hope Fagbook doesn't have anything to do with this. Including green tea with EGCG, ginger, and guarana seed. Drinking Celsius will make your bills go down, your truck get better gas mileage, and your pee-pee grow about that much. Okay, let's try it. I got turned on to this by my favorite, don't take this the wrong way, anybody, my favorite YouTube channel, and that is DDE, Daily Driven Exotics. They were drinking so much of this that they were approached by Celsius, and Celsius became a sponsor and sent them a refrigerator, a big glass presentation thingy, and all the Celsius they could ever drink and give out. That's how the big guys stay big and the little guys stay little. Okay, well, this one, evidently whatever color that is, it's natural because it's no artificial. They do have a subtle carbonation. It's definitely not like a soda, or all you people in all the weird areas, a Coke. Because everything, is this a Coke? Because not only did it not say Coke on the can, but it's not Coke in the glass, so I don't understand how everything can be a goddamn Coke. Sorry, I blew up right there. Cheers. Oh yeah. Now here's the funny thing. Greg drinks these Vita Waters, and he probably drinks about $1,000 a month in them. This is the same price, so I could do the same thing. Actually, even worse for me is it's just Greg and not his wife. Whereas Christine is now, I think, drinking. I think she has one a day, and that's like I took one and had it for breakfast this morning. That and my Shackley, the one that says take with food. So an update, as you can see behind me. The sling was not for the carbine. And I would like to show you a visual realization of exactly what Eric went through trying to put that sling on the M1917. It looked something like this. I almost got it. Okay, I'm done. That was just water. I mean, Cobra could tell you from the viscosity. I actually have all of the tequila from that bottle in the beaker that salty scent. So I'll put it back in there. Now, it looked like suspenders. I had no freaking idea how this was supposed to go on here. I typed in case you want to find it. I found a guy that, like, how do you use this holster? I couldn't find anyone that showed me how to use that chest rig for the tankers holster. Nobody. Now, but when I typed in putting a sling on an M1917, his channel starts out looking or sounding like a World War II training video, straight to the point, no frickin' commercials. And now having said that though, this sling, its own connectors don't want to go through its own D-rings. Like, who the fuck made this shit? Captain Frustration? Then it turns out that this buckle and this buckle are the exact same size as the swivels, the rings on the rifle. I actually had to use a little Chuckisms on this one just to get it to go through here. And he shows it snapping onto this D-ring, just like you see it right here. Then you go through this whole assembly, which I was not able to do, but thankfully this one is a split, so I was able to take the sling material and stick it in this way and then stick it in that way. Then you're supposed to go back through itself, which it didn't want to do, even though it's its own ring, and then back up to here. And this is basically that's about I suppose they have that set up, so it's about where you'd maybe have it if you were carrying the rifle, I guess. I don't know. But in shooting it, the guy just quickly reaches down and unsnaps this from this D-ring, and it clips into the rifle's. This rifle's really long. It clips into this one. Now you get all this extra length, and when you shoot it, you actually put your hand through. See, it's too short like this. It has to be disconnected and connected back. But I'm here to tell you that if you want to do that, the only way that you can possibly collapse this spring-loaded tab and release it from this D-ring and get it to snap onto this one is with the aid of pliers, needle nose, arc welder, and a 20-ton press. But it's on here. The M1917 Eddystone. I had been given authorization to go shoot this, but I just assume not be. Well, it's not that I'm paranoid. I mean, it's not like I'll fire it like that or anything, but no, I personally have not shot it yet. It is a beautiful piece of history. It's got a little surface pitting here and there on it. I haven't done anything to it but wipe it down with oil just so that I didn't make it worse. Gun Wild says, "Damn, I missed the club." Yeah, I personally don't understand all my gauges and everything. I tell you, my turret thing is so rusted up. It looks like I found it underwater. I tell you, I'm in a scenario where if I could afford to buy it, I'd probably go buy one of those commercial dehumidifiers, the ones that they use when like the swimming pool on the roof breaks and gets all the apartments below it wet, those kind. I mean, the one that I have in here, unless it's just not working, but I don't know, it seems like it trickles water out the end of it, because I have it hooked to a hose that goes all the way over there to my floor drain, so I don't have to keep emptying the bucket. I don't like that problems. And then there's another one that sits over there with a hose that goes straight into the sub pump pit. And I borrowed another one from work, but unfortunately, in times of need, like painting or drywall and that kind of stuff, it'd have to be brought back. But I was kind of hoping that nobody would notice it missing. But unfortunately, somebody will. I mean, if it turns out that he forgets that I have it, then it's not my fault. Clyde was first. Then he says Celsius and Revolution for all. And Cold-Hearted Bastard says 2 spring waters. And then Clyde says 4 spring waters. Smile Money says, time to be done with what? You were very cryptic. Okay, now it took a while, but it's done with alcohol. Good for you. Poco says, maybe he's done with someone's mom. Ha ha! I mean, I'm not. I'll word it like this: if it turns out that the social experiment on my mental, well, not really mental, health experiment with myself, if it turns out that doing one here and there, maybe not every single day. I mean, there's. I would like to think that there should be more liquid substance out there that's non-alcoholic than alcoholic. Of course, considering all the things wrong with our society, I mean, just look at some of the stuff going on right now, and you're like, we are totally broken as a society. I mean, somehow it all gets justified. Like, if I say, if you have a vagina and think you're a boy, and I say what you have is a fucking mental illness problem, somehow in 2023, I'm the bad guy, and the homo pickle is somehow the victim in all this. No, you're a fucking mental tard, and you need to seek help. And you don't need to try to turn it into a norm, like all this pedophile shit going on right now. Personally, why are we covering up for so much of that? I not only should it all be brought to light who these people are, no matter what wealth layer they sit at, and then they're executed. You touch a child and you die. I'm sorry if that offends the community guidelines at WokeTube. If you're a pedophile and you harm a child, you should die. Rocks, firing squad, monster trucks. Oh, can you imagine? Your arms and legs are tied on this side to that truck, and make it fun, like 50 feet of rope. And your arms and legs are tied to that truck. Let's make it more fun, another 50 feet. And then when someone goes like this, they both nail the throttle. Oh, God, just like to watch that happen. And then I know, Smile Money's going to be like, by the time this is over, could we please go back to drinking? Because at a certain point, his clarity becomes less and less, and he just gets fixated on the girls and weapons. Then we start clearing the house. in our government. Because unless you want to point out someone that you think is uncorrupted or uncorruptible, being a member of our government originally was supposed to look like jury duty. You find out you're supposed to go serve for our government. Son of a bitch, I wonder how I could get out of this. Nowadays, it's free everything. And somehow you start off with, I don't know, $20 in the bank, and a year later you're worth $225,000, and then a year after that you're worth $1 million, and then the year after that you're worth like $1 trillion. It's like, don't get me wrong, I would not want to be a member of our government, because the first time someone came to me and said, you know what, if you help me get my bill passed, I'll put a brand new Koenigsegg and a Gen 2 VMAX and a Ducati and 25 else other bikes in your garage. Give me a pen, baby. Where do I need to sign? The whole thing has become so bloated and so corrupt. The only thing that works is somehow a start over. It can't be fixed. It can't be fixed. It can only continue to screw us, we the people. Because there's not enough of us that are willing to put our lives on the line to go do what needs to be done right now. Smile Money, I'd be happy to start with diplomacy. But somehow I just don't see that working. So then the next step is an A10 Warthog and a lot of goddamn ammo. Got some packages in. I probably should, well, I guess not worry, but I don't know. One of the packages is gurgling. So Redneck says snow equals Mr. Plow gets to use the plow. Smart Money says, well, 110 inches of record snowfall and the plowing business is in the red. I don't do it for a living. I don't have anybody that has paid me Smile Money because I've never plowed. In case you missed that part, I've never plowed with a plow up until this year. And I certainly wasn't going to start advertising, hey, I can come fuck up your grass. I feel good enough now that, I take care of some stuff, but that's just it. How do I say, okay, I'm willing to pay you, $60 every time you come out to plow, and I'm going to expect you as soon as it starts to let up. No, I didn't buy a plow truck business. I bought a truck that came with a plow. And if it can make some extra money, that's fine. If I was paying payments on a plow, yeah, I would say, yeah, Smile Money, you're absolutely right. It's in the red. But considering it just happens to be something that I have, and if I go somewhere and use it and I get paid, I guess technically, contractually, I do have one absolute. I am the only person that does all the maintenance for the Spook House. And, it pays good. I said, if you are expecting me to maintain our properties, then here's the deal. There's a 2-hour minimum. If it takes me 1 minute and 37 seconds, you will pay 2 hours. Deal. I'm like, okay. Maybe next. See, Spot Money, what I need to do is I need to not be a nice guy. I need to, drive past Mrs. Kurgan in the alley at 90 or 91 as she's out there shoveling. Just drive past that bitch. She can figure it out on her own. But no, we got a really helpful neighborhood, and I was just like, I can't do that. Of course, she is the only one that has, of everyone in the alley, the only person that's paid me is her. I mean, Mike does what he can, but we barter back and forth. So it's like, for instance, Mike's great at passive aggressiveness, and seeing how all of the snow on this whole end, and of course, Matt, in case you're listening, Matt gave me a lecture about how Jim, the god of snow plowing, I believe it was Jim, who everybody loves, you just plow it out and stick it out on the avenue. Well, there sort of is some logistics about that. On the other side of the street, there's two houses, and legally we are responsible for keeping our sidewalks clear. So as I plow down the alley and of course, Matt's also the guy that snow plows everything from his garage apron out into the alley, which is actually illegal in the state of Minnesota. You are not supposed to blow or shovel your snow out into the street, but far be it from me. So, yeah, that and the difference between plowing past Matt's garage and then Michelle's garage, my garage, Mike's garage, and then sticking all of this snow in front of the Foros garage, which I thought was going to turn out to be an issue. And I think the fact that we maintained their property for them while they were on vacation, they don't use their garage as a garage. They use it as a really, really nice shed. I mean, if I had their garage, my truck and Christine's car would be in it as we speak. And yet, nah, they don't. Yeah, so I was just told all I had to do is just come and scoop everything up, because that's what Jim did, and just go push it into the neighbor's front yard. Yeah, Jim's also writing a book called Making Enemies as Quickly as Possible. You can't do that all year round. Just push it. I mean, that, and all of a sudden, that's like 3 more houses worth of snow that you'd be pushing. Whatever. Either way, Mike was complaining because the back bumper of his vehicle was right here, and the snowdrift was right here. And then over the last 2 weeks of all this extra snow we got, everything I pushed was building up. She wants you to drop a skittle on her tongue. It was all building up, and he was bitching because he had to park farther and farther towards my garage, which I could give a shit. I mean, there was like the entire, we could almost park another vehicle between his front bumper, even after the snow, and the front of my truck. And then if I had to, I could back up even more, because Michelle just doesn't care as long as she can get out of her garage. So she doesn't care if I block her back walkway and part of her garage door. She's a lovely person. So I decided when I got home to end the passive aggressiveness, and I just raised my plow up all the way and rammed into the top of which is now almost an 8-foot high pile, because as I plow, as I'm coming up to it, I just run it right up and keep pushing stuff up on top. And so I just kept hitting it, and chunks would fall down, and then I took my snowblower and I blew it between his garage. I kind of put a lot of it on top of his boat, but I don't know, that's what suspensions are for on the trailer. So it just kept falling, and I actually got it so that he could back his goddamn car up almost 4 feet farther. And then And then he evidently was so happy about that that him and his youngest daughter ran to grab some pizza from Little Squeezers, and he picked me up a double pepperoni and brought it over. I had one slice before I came down here, and I'm saving the rest to have as a little dinner snack before Locked and Loaded tonight. And I had a great idea, but I can't remember what it was. Why don't we delve into this fun? We got one for Shit Boy. One for Captain Reed Tard. And this one is also for Captain Retard. Well, these are actually all... That one's gurgling. We'll go with the non-gurgler first. Shit Boy. This one's from the Cuban Food Market. Huh. Let's use the M16 that I got from Gun Wild 1. With 2 ends. Whoa, does he get pissed when you forget the second end? Yeah. This can is packaged better than that jar of olives. Stuffed olives. Manchego cheese paste. Well, one in Rome, baby. Maybe I should make myself up a non-alcoholic. Hey, at least the can's not dented. Try not to get turned down, Hector. Going in deep. Puh. Oh. It's like a little chunk of olive blocking the butthole so that the gushy cheese don't come out. 'Cause it's Now, what kind of machine does that? Makes a hole. Makes a hole to. Oh, that just looks like someone. That just looks like someone jizzed in an olive. So I ate it. They're good olives. Yeah, those are tasty. That's like about the same kind of olive as the ones that Gage Sammy Poos significant other, he got me those ghost pepper ones. The only thing disappointing about those is they weren't hot. They're almost more sweet than anything. Redneck says, greetings, Captain. You're a bit early tonight. 2 days later, I'll make up for it. Smile Money, you started to talk about neurology appointment. Then your phone 511 app diverted you your train of thought. Okay, not until June, so you're going to prepare for evaluation by estimating alcohol as one of the potential issues. Don't start out being sad about it, regardless. That's a good thing. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's like, I like the taste of some of this stuff, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's strange or what, but I've never had a addictive personality, and that's where, you know, talking to Greg, he goes, that's where his problem is. I mean, it's to the point where like these Vita Waters, gotta have them. If we go someplace for lunch, I bounce all over the menu, and he's on the same thing. Day 27 at the same restaurant, getting the same thing. Ask Sharky. And it's like, but I guess here's Smile Money. Obviously, here's the bottom line. If it is what is causing problems, I'm not stupid. I mean, what the hell? And the problem is I actually know people that have been informed the whole, your entire problem. If you stop doing whatever, drinking, if you stop drinking, most of your problems would probably go away. Don't tell me what to do. Okay. I mean, I don't even know. I mean, unless you've experienced it, because I even told my doctor this. If someone said to me, explain the feeling that the neuropathy, the feeling that you have in your feet. It's sort of like they're cold, but it's not like they're cold. It's sort of like they feel like they're burning, like an hour ago you decided to try firewalking for the first thing, but it's really not like they're burning. I mean, when this all started and it started to happen to me, Christine had made the comment, a lot of people say that after they experience cancer that they start to have dry skin issues, and I'm like, well, maybe that's wrong with my feet. So every single time I'd get out of the shower, I'd have to slather up my feet and put on socks, because you can't just walk around the house with lotion all over your feet. At bedtime, they were bothering me, so I'd slather them up and that does actually help a little bit. And then JR10 Desert Gold told me to try a capsaicin cream, and I guess until it was too late, I never even thought about capsaicin. Isn't that the most miserable part about when people try to make hot shit even hotter? Yeah! And of course, anybody that's been with me, going back to that day, so I put capsaicin cream on my feet, and that turned into be a holy hell-ish kind of a nightmare. Only to hear later that night, hold my beer and watch this, when evidently in my sleep, with the hand that hours earlier put capsaicin cream on my feet, I rubbed my balls. Woke up from that. What the fuck? Why do my balls feel like they're on fire? I don't understand why capsaicin cream exists. I saved the tube. If we ever have someone like Mike from In the Red here ever again, I'm going to put capsaicin cream all in a thin, really thin coating on the toilet seat. Douglas says, I watch for the fuckery. You get better, sir. Thank you, Douglas. Thank you very much. Hector gives that a thumbs up. Clyde says, sup, Douglas? And then Clyde says to Hector, damn it, man. He'll just have it taxidermied and put it in the Star Trek room. Well, evidently I missed whatever Hector said. It must have gotten deleted. I have a thimble I can store it in. It's the same volume. Yeah, evidently. And then Clyde says that may be too big and definitely too deep. So WokeTube took away whatever the fun part is. Redneck, I just had a 2021 Eclipse dirty chai from 50/50 Brewing. I want more. It was a little pricey, so I only bought one. You know what I've noticed? I know. Statistically, more often than not, I don't know if I've ever made a purchase of a really expensive beer that wasn't outstanding. So you're standing there going, oh my God, that's like $15 for one beer. Or say that one time, $60 for one beer. And you're like going, oh my God, I don't feel good about this. I'm just getting one. And then you take a sip of it and you're going, oh my God, I wish I had a lot more of that. Kind of like a Cherry Fandango. Holy shit, is this expensive? That is silly. Okay, we got to run back to the store and try to find more. What? Oops, shit, wrong button. Hang on a second, I'm downloading some Anthrax. Just kidding. Gotta turn up the volume on my butt. Oh, yeah. Oh, right there, Hector. Yeah. So, okay. Okay, let's try, well, since it's sitting right here, let's try the one for Captain Retard. I'm guessing that this one is from eBay. Unless there's like a really good deal on this tape. But wait, there's more. Nah, that's a good looking box, ain't it? But wait, there's still more. And things are packaged so good that at this point in the game, I still do not have a clue what the hell I'm... Okay, there's a bottle. Bloody Mary cocktail mix. Down Home Gourmet. Spicy and delicious. Versus what? Spicy and kind of sucks a little? And here we got some Down Home Gourmet hot sauce, Louisiana style. And here we have celery salt. So you can we got the whole kit here, so you can roll your glass in it. Down Home Gourmet. Louisiana style. In other words, it's reminiscent of Frank's, or I'll have to give that a try. Product of China. Come on. Store in a cool, dry place. Not labeled for individual retail sale. What do you got in mind? Rich Huff says, cheers all. Cheers, Rich. Gunwild says, hello, alcoholics. Smile Money says, damn, I know it was a lie that it started anywhere but the Wuhan lab, but Eric, every source says low. And this whole Smile Money, the whole thing I told you about has been on like everything I've been listening today. That the Department of Energy has come out and said that it is a high chance that it happened at the Wuhan lab. All I can tell you is what I've been hearing. The first time was Poco shared it with me, and that was Glenn Beck. And I know some people would say, oh, he's an extremist. And he's an extremist 6 months later. But it was on the national talk show that I listened to. The three guys that I never remember their names. The three guys, and then it was a topic of discussion on one of our local talk shows, and he's a guy that kind of doesn't really get on the touching the third rail. So by the time he talks about it, he's heard it from multiple sources. And again, it's like I said, Department of Energy coming out and saying it is a high probability that it came from the Wuhan lab. And the fact is that it was said by a government agency is why it is making, it's not going to make CNN, ABC. I mean, these fuckers are all the enemy. Tell me, what is the difference? If you hear some jerk off over on CNN word something a particular way, how come at the exact same moment in time you go over to ABC and they're saying the same thing? It's like I've heard words that I've never heard in my life all of a sudden are being said across 4 different bought and paid for government news organizations. And it just pisses me off that the stuff that I listen to somehow is assumed to be conspiracy theorist shit, and you're not supposed to take it for granted. Yet, all of the shit that I listen to has all turned out to be almost 100% true. So, all I can tell you is what I've heard. And now, I love those tits. Let me finish. The FBI also said something similar. Neither department has the responsibility to research the issue. They're just putting up a smokescreen for potential congressional hearings. Salty, climb every mountain, ford every stream, follow every rainbow till you find your nakedness. Well, 4 of you love that. That's great. Brad? Watch your body! Watch your body! Watch your body! Sub-comment from Hector saying, with a broken beer bottle. Watch your body! Watch your body! Watch your body! Clyde says, with Kamala's cack. And then Hector says, and oh bummers. Redneck, if I stop drinking alcohol, there's a whole list of people in mortal danger as my tolerance for their bullshit decreased. We come here for the fuckery. We will survive without alcohol. Well, I guess the thing is if I figure out that this is truly the problem, and I realize that this is like I'm not like I wasn't born last night about this whole thing. It's not like you go, oh, let's just stop for Thursday, Friday, and then tie one on for the weekend. No, she wants a Skittle too. I realized, for me, I was thinking, I should probably give it a bare minimum of 30 days, a month. And if it seems like it's made a difference, then it needs to be like for say I got some pretty good shit in the refrigerator. A couple really good ones that one, it's from Surly, and they're high end stuff. These are the expensive cans that come in the little boxes. It's normally pretty good, but if memory serves, it's a Russian Imperial Stout, and I don't give a shit how good of a Russian Imperial Stout you make. I don't. It's like if someone said, we're going to satisfy that wish of yours. We are going to provide you with Imperial Stouts for the rest of your life. And I'd be like going, yeah! First box shows up, open it up, pull out the bottle, and it says Russian Imperial. And I'm like, son of a bitch. By definition, the Russian Imperial Stouts are dry, bitter. I like the flavorful, sweet parts of an Imperial Stout, not dry, bitter. Hey, the good news is after the brew review, if I need to run some kind of an errand for any reason, like the fact that I kind of forgot to grab a couple things, which I can still get tomorrow morning, heading out, me and David are going to a gun show in Cotton, Minnesota. Don't get. Last time we were at this one, it was probably the smallest of all of the ones, and the things were probably the most overpriced. So, the last one down at the deck was probably one of the biggest ones, and if I was rating on a curve, still sucked. I just enjoy my little guy time with David. So, yeah, I'll still be on the lookout for stuff, but of course, it's not. I mean, I might have an extra, $5-10 to spend tomorrow. Oh, I'll be using that to get in the door. Redneck says, if your wishes go about like mine, do your other hand is gonna fill up faster. That's right. You wish in this one, and you shiticate in that other one. Malta Gunman says, Smith & Wesson 686s and whiskey. That is all. Mr. 27 says, lies. Then Mr. 27 says, 20th. And then Smile Money says, I used a small 6-foot plow. I would set up the chain on the hydraulic lift so it would not hit the ground while plowing leaves as well as snow. The shoes only hit when the plow bounced. You know what I never, sorry, I'm on the same subject. What I never noticed was, I suppose I can, I'd have to put the shoes on it, because there's all those washer spacers so that you get it riding right for, I guess, whatever scenario you want to set yours up for. Unless all the washers just go on the grenade pin side, but yeah. I still got the one sitting on my desk, like biggest frickin' paperweight that I've ever had sitting on my desk, but before I do put them back on the plow, I definitely need to pick up one more shoe. In which case, I'll put the old one that's not bent up in the middle, and then the two new ones on the outside edges. But I just thought maybe, because he's so smart, that Miles could figure out a way to unbend the one that's badly bent. Like I said, I was surprised that the dude up at United Truck Body was even able to get it off the plow. I don't know how much work it was. Maybe that was what all the fees were that I didn't plan on. Let's go with the last one again for Captain Reed Tard. This way looks easier to break into. Super ass tape the top, and I like this Amazon box with eBay packing tape over the top of that. Oh, there's a note. Happy Mail. Thank you for supporting my small business. Oh, isn't that sweet? Oh, it's even a Hallmark. Thank you. Thank you for supporting my small business. Enjoy, Kelly. Is it a real doll? Is it some of Kelly's juices? Is it a My Pillow? Charleston Bloody Mary Mix. All natural, bold and spicy. Best by 827. Contains no juice. Made from farm fresh tomatoes. Shake well before serving, refrigerate after. Well, it looks good. This one looks more like diluted ketchup, whereas this one's got all sorts of peppercorn and that kind of shit in it, but sweet, thank you. Thank you, Kelly. Can't wait to get my tongue on your juices. Poco says, how you doing? How you doing, huh? Unless you really want to know. No, you don't give a fuck. Hector didn't make it into the club because, yep, it was Pizza Hut meat lover stuffed crust tonight. Ish. I was stuffing my face and watching Lloyd Levins. LJB, though? Fuck Joe Biden! Fuck Joe Biden! Fuck Joe Biden! Tonight's low here, by the way, is going to be 68. Yeah, you can keep that shit to yourself. Poco says meat lovers. Hector says, yep, sausage, bacon, pepperoni, and wait. You mean, duh, laugh out loud. I can't even read the rest of what he says. I got a little something. I got a little something in my mouth. Focal, if you do whiskey with Hornet Fixer, it will magically turn to rum. Poco, what's your procedure for adjusting Glock triggers? Have you ever took too much travel out? If so, how did you know? The only Glock trigger I have that has any adjustability at all is the one that's in my race gun. That has over travel, and it didn't seem like anything I did with the other one made a hell of a difference, but no, not really. I'm almost, except for that one trigger, every other one is just a trigger bar, and I don't know. I'm getting to the point where, you know, you get this part and that part, and I tell you, it's almost like you're better off just taking the stock Glock stuff and just polishing the shit out of it. I mean, I'm just as happy with most of that. I mean, granted, some of the better ones, like for instance, the Serpico, for the most part, it's a trigger. It's their trigger bar, but you can also order just their trigger, which means you haven't done anything to affect the reliability or anything about the gun. You just simply took that trigger off the end of the trigger bar and put the Serpico on there, and now it looks and feels different. I don't know. I still have, what is it, 2 or 3 Glocks that just, no matter what, now the 80%er and that really expensive one, which I think it's now officially no coincidence that Tango Down, or I'm just looking at the box where it is. Actually, you can see some of it. The diamond plated box. It's in there, and it's just it pisses me off because you have to be super careful. So if you're trying to fit something just to see if it's going to work or not, you have to fully assemble it. And then not miss when you're putting the pins back in it. And we're not talking about a plastic pin like a Glock, or something that you can just literally push in with the pin, with the Glock tool. No, you gotta put it in something, be all careful, hammer it in a place, pull the trigger, fail. I just really don't have the patience for that. And they don't even sell it as that anymore. They must have had so many problems that they just now build complete guns, complete lowers. Makes sense to me. I think I even tried all stock. I don't know. The parts bin is so diluted with this. I mean, I had some of this stuff that was like as China made as possible, and I didn't have any luck with some of that stuff. But yeah, I think there's 3 of them right now that are just not, either non-functional or not reliable, like Derringers. And I don't give up easy. So when I say I want nothing to do with it, after a while I can try to return, but with what I have on hand right now, I don't. Anger building. Sub-comment from Poco, I'm talking about aftermarket triggers, so I don't know who left a comment, but it got deleted. And then DFC says, keep shooting until they feel good, laugh out loud. That, there is something to what he is saying right there. Redneck says, the FBI chief, Christopher Ways, says China lab leak most likely, as reported by the BBC. Redneck says the orange man was right. I know. It's amazing. It's to show the true level of stupidity that we have. You're 401k was building good. You probably could afford to do these weird things called vacations, maybe buy extra things without having to put it on a credit card. And gas prices, what was it, the $1.78, $1.79 at the end of Trump's term. Yet, oh my God, it's like, oh God, those mean fucking tweets, they cost me so much. I get billed by every single mean tweet. And then we get the cock-sucking piece of shit that we have now. And yeah, I don't have any extra money. I mean, not to mention the complete lie and fabrication and government. Once again, just another example of the government. Let's run a drill and see if we can manipulate basically everybody everywhere. I think it's funny because I go down to the hospital a lot more lately for appointments. And there's the big sign on the door, mandatory mask. Well, guess what? I'm not showing up with one. I'm not even going to try. There better be one at the door. If there ain't one at the door, standing in a little bin next to the sanitizing lotion, then the next person I run across can hand me one, because fuck you. Follow the science. That's the conversation I had with my last doctor. I go, what a joke. They kept saying, follow the science, follow the science. Well, the science proved that the mask did nothing. As a matter of fact, what they did to the children, the adolescents in our society, was a gigantic step backwards. The whole thing was a social experiment, and guess what? The government won, and we all lost. But guess what? We'll just keep letting that happen. Just keep playing the game. Maybe they can tax us more. Maybe they can take all of our firearms away and force us to, you are so irresponsible that you can't even have a gas oven anymore. But we'll all get on those electric cars. I'm sorry, you want an electric car? Go ahead and get one. But when person after person, and I've been noticing it's not the same picture, it's different ones from obviously different locations. The out in the middle of nowhere Tesla charging stations hooked to a great big diesel generator. Mission accomplished, stupid people. Or the one we just spent 300 gallons of jet fuel to clean the ice off the wind turbine, and it was a helicopter spraying. Yeah, we are the stupidest society in history. I mean, quite frankly, if you can't figure out what fucking bathroom to use, go eat a dick burger. Oh, you probably are. J-Dog's here before work. Wade, alcohol has a lot of bad memories for me, so I've never been a big fan. Poco? Well, you are a taste sadist. Maybe if you stop the booze, you can chip in on the carbonation thing, and you make strange soda pops. When you then you can make Miles and Matt taste them on camera. Hey, actually, if I still had the thing, it's not a bad idea. I used to have the SodaStream carbonator. It had its own style pop bottles, and you'd put in whatever flavors you wanted and water, and then it would carbonate it, and then you'd put a screw-on bottle cap, or I suppose if you really wanted, you could actually use the regular press-on style one. But yeah, if I still had that, you could just get syrups, different syrups, and start playing a little bit of that one, a little bit of that one, some of that one. A little bit of that one. Baby. Poco. Oh boy, surprise package. I guess I better get going on the new shirt. I was waiting to see what kind of unexpected joke Matt sends me before I finished his shirt. I think he was just planning on sending you whatever it is he said he was going to send you. I don't know. Poco, come visit Idaho. I can put you and Christine in a spare room. In a straitjacket? As her just lock the door behind us? Or Redneck, I'll be back tomorrow for a dry grind. Night, Captain. Redneck. Mike says cheers. Cheers, Mike. Then he says, I got 78 degrees today. Yeah, you can keep that shit to yourself. Hector says, got to 82 here. Yeah, you can both eat a dick. And, well, one of you are. And then Mike says, sweet. And then Hector says, I don't like anything above 76 and nothing below 40. But better the weather near Eric, the nipple head. And then Mike says, sure does, my friend. Fake. That's okay, I'm okay. J-Dog, I have the M&P 10mm 4-inch. You shot it. Yeah, once. Hector, here, Eric. Screw the plow, replace it with a flamethrower. Lighter and funnier. Laugh out loud. B8 and screw Texas move to South Carolina. B8. B8 is a miss. But at least it hasn't been called. Personal favorite. And then Cold Hearted Bastard says, screw South Carolina, the captain is moving to Missouri. You know, that's kind of funny that you say that because Christine likes Missouri, and when I was there, I liked Missouri. They are definitely a gun-friendly state. Granted, it's not a lateral move for us. The weather is definitely better. I mean, I'm sure it'd be like Lily moving to Virginia. She's like, it's like 3 snowflakes and they close the whole town down, and she's like, what? Mike, I hope all works out for Christine selling her books. I don't read books very much, but those books signed from her and David would be good for a collection. I agree. Everybody that hears me say this should have some in their collection. Gunwild, well, if today is your last day of drinking, you should have celebrated with 1 bourbon, 1 scotch, and 1 beer. I like the way you think, but Mike says, my diabetic neuropathy and severely crushed spinal cord and alcohol don't mix, but I drink anyways. It's the only thing that eases the pain for me. Yes, there is that. The problem is if it's causing the pain. J-Dog, my Boker out the front is made by Cobra Tech. Yeah, I've been I went to Cobra Tech's site, and I have to say there was quite a few out the enders. And I'm telling you, if they all have the tenacity that this has, sign my ass up. I might have to save and get one of theirs. Hang on, I gotta have some non-alcoholic vodka. God. That just looks so perfect, it has to be fake. I mean, There must be like 27 filters being used to get to that look. Hector, by the way, no, I don't go the green stuff or drink. Used to do both, but nope. Getting old and I has diabetes. I smoke a pack of Newport Reds 100s every day though, laugh out loud. Gotta inhale all my vitamins and minerals somehow. Cigarettes are healthy sticks, to quote early Curly's dad. Clyde says, yep, ciggies and caffeine are my vices, but I do occasionally have a drink. And Scourge, YouTube hidden comments again, said rum and nakedlation. Gunoil, Jerry Mikulik released his review on the Smith & Wesson 9mm carbine today. It's a cool rifle, perfect for a truck gun. Sharky says, he and every gun channel out there for miles and miles. I wonder if there's some sort of a embargo going on, laugh out loud. Liked TFB TV's one best so far. I like James. I think that everybody could probably be convinced to say nice things. Like, for instance, if me and Smith & Wesson, or if anybody deserved it, Jim and Smith & Wesson could get together, and every single time Smith put out something, then they'd send it to Jim. But no, we're little people. Jim's channel was really starting to do good before WokeTube was on their Woke Fest tour. But yeah, I mean, seriously, if every time a gun manufacturer put out a new firearm and you always got one, I wonder how many bad things you could say. I mean, personally, one of the only people I know when the Ruger 5.7 originally came out, and again, I'd have to double check or ask, well, I guess I could take the thing apart and just look. Jay from Elite Ammunition was like, junk, it's dangerous. Overall, there's a lot of things that he liked about it, but safety-wise, it has, at least had, no firing pin capture. So just like a Series 70 1911, in theory, if you were to drop it so that it went barrel into something, the firing pin under inertia could set off the primer. And I know that was a big thing, and I was able to actually prove that. I took a Ruger 5, one of the original ones, apart. Again, I didn't even realize that there was even a safety option, because the one that Jim gave me has a safety lever, ambi, by the way. I don't really care for. I think a striker fired gun, there's really no point in having a safety. It's just that second between when you could have lived and didn't. But I've always been curious about what would happen if you had a bad enough dream or a nightmare where you weren't awake, but maybe did stuff. Like reached over and grabbed the gun on your side stand and squeezed the trigger. So after I had that waking thought, if it had a safety on it, I would put it on. It's probably bad for a bedside gun though, because it's one more thing in your. It's 2:30 in the morning, and all of a sudden your alarm goes off, and you just got sucked out of another dimension. Probably a lot better one than here. I mean, what if it all turns out that this is the dream or the nightmare, and where I was last night, I had the keys to the kingdom. I'll just say that. UOCR220. Oh well, dry ride it is. I'll be here. Cheers. Thank you, sir. Your channel name. Are you ever going to hear me say this? What does it mean? EMT says, I second that. I'm here to the end every video for the fuckery. Gunwild says, oh my God, serious, how many... This is what happens when I miss a day. Gunwild, I gotta take a Joe Biden, be right back. And then he's got a little picture of some shit. Wonder what that means. Cold-hearted, 2 thumbs up and 2 spritzer waters. Clyde says Christine is an awesome author. She is truly the next David Brown, and then a bunch of hearts. Thank you, David. Thank you, David. Thank you, Clyde. I'm sure David would argue. Oh, jeez. Please hold. Yes, Gunwild, you're right. Oh, jeez. We gotta hurry. Sam and Christine are going out for dinner, and she says that Marshall's being a shit and wanted to know if she could bring him. And I'm like, absolutely. I love shit. Gunwild says, okay, I'm back. Did I miss anything? Me too. Welcome back. Cold-hearted. In all honesty, I always left the shoes on. As bad as the roads were, where I was at, the plow would be tripping all the time. So far, I do like the way it's plowing without them, because it's just scraping better right now. Then he says, outro babe and 4 big hearts. And then Steve says, still wouldn't trade Oklahoma tornadoes for your snow. Well, yeah. Cheap old gun guy. Stop drinking alcohol. I'll drink to that. And let's never forget. McLean says, hello, Captain. I'm pleased to announce you've been promoted to Major. Major Bummer. Cheer up, Jennifer. Then he says, I quit drinking over a year ago. I went full-time gummy. If anything, gummy helps with inflammation, which is probably contributing to your symptoms. Yeah, I got to talk to Matt about that. Then he says, I think it was Peter Tosh who said, where the white woman at? Or was it legalize it? We may never know. Then he says, Wuhan Lab ain't nothing to mess with. Wuhan Lab ain't nothing to mess with. Anybody who gets his G. Then he says, Wu-Tang for the win, says Sharky. Steven, no idea what Norman did with the... Newman did with the stock or the trigger. What kind of friend are you? Then he says, you can review other shit. Hell, Warheads has a sour soda line with 5 flavors, and you can get single cans of them at Walmart. Review random shit besides alcohol. It'll be cheaper. There's also that, at least for right now. Jolson says we need no cowbell. Then Jolson says, 104 pieces of pain in my ass. Then Jolson says apparently out of 520,000 estimated bunk stocks, only 527 were turned in according to the AFT. Sorry, I was doing it. So, if that doesn't give you an idea how the average law-abiding citizen feels about the infringement of our rights, I believe the term is mass non-compliance with unconstitutional hockey. Kind of like what happened with Prohibition. Yeah, well, like I said, mine didn't fall off a fucking boat in a fishing outing. It's right here. Come take it. Salty. Having grown up in Texas and worked there for 10 years after I got out of the Navy, it's not my first recommendation for a state to move to. Knowing what I know now, Georgia or Florida would be top states I would recommend to move to. even with a state tax in Georgia, I pay about half the amount of taxes as I did in Texas. And the best part is that you can ride naked for most of the year. That would be fun. Jay, another successful bingo game with the Boy Scouts of America. Thank you again for the goodies. Jay, you are always welcome. I try to keep putting stuff together for you. Then Jay says, my kind of girl that like golden showers. Okay. Then Jay says, the T in T6B stands for Trident. I had a whole line and selection of bullets in 308. 6.5, Creedmoor, and whatever the other one was. And while I do put the 27 grain in the 223556, I created a 50 grain version also. Once I can get through material or get enough material to keep up with demand for T6B, I plan on bringing back my other Trident loads. Ooh. And then Zeus says, hell yeah, brother. So, anybody that has been asking, that means that yes, Jade Elite Ammunition did have the big badass round in a 308. Jay, I'm pretty sure you might be able to sell some of those. Of course, at $57.95 per shot. Just kidding. I don't know what they cost. Mr. Mark Mack, Eric, how do you feel about the Constitution and the people that oppose it? Laugh out loud. I will chip in for the rope. Excellent rant, my friend. No, our government has continuously now shown exactly what they are. Tyrants. They are England Part 2. And we need to do the same thing that we did the last time around. End their oppression. I mean, good God, by percentages, we are in so much worse shape than what we're being put through back then. But nope, the sheep think it's good. Orange Man bad. Oh, for God's sakes, maybe everything could be even more expensive. Companies and our government and the fraud that is the IRS and the fraud that is the ATF and the fraud that is, may I go on and on with the alphabets. Sharky cheers all, Justin AR and packages on deck. Hope this opening comment makes it. Well, there's this. Well, you know, the thing. Sharky, 16 minutes, loved the comparison between the Olight and the Streamlight, but I didn't hear a thing. Don't know why. GL, or what? I think I have an explanation, but that's pretty damn good too. I like the sweater meat. Sharky, I'm not here for the booze. I'm here for the experience. Well, you know, the thing. It's all about the shenanigans. Remember the juicing thing you did a few years ago? Yeah, we could bring that down here and we could just make shit and then taste it. All sorts of ideas. Except for I'd spend half the day getting it ready, and then after the review, the other half of the day cleaning the stuff up. Oh, and alcohol's cheaper. Jeremy, well, I hope you can still. I hope you can still come here and talk to us boys. Just drink normal stuff. Read the comments. Hang out. Love the reviews. Oh, yeah. I wouldn't give this part of it up. Car, not her. Jeremy, you think this show is centered around alcohol? Nah, it's just all of us getting together. Enjoy hearing about what's going on in everyone's lives. So it's either you keep doing this show or I'm going to watch CNN after work. You decide. Ooh, I wouldn't. No, friends don't let friends do that. Hornet Fixer, Jim, I'm on the wagon myself. DFC says, and the shift key. Mr. Mark Mac, always with you, Eric. Leave the bourbon drinking or driving with me. Okay. Zeus, I fully support you being healthy. Do whatever it takes, brother. And SH. Thank you. Thank you, Zeus. Appreciate that. Miss 27. Less fat chest cushions, more beer, whiskey, and 12 gauges. Then he says, let's play a game, a bottle of big jugs. And then he says, hey, Mr. Multi-Gunman Naked Time. And then he says she could get a great she could make a great crash test dummy, but I don't know who you're talking about, unless you're talking about Kamala Harris. And then he says, I was taking a sip when they started, when she started talking and ruined it. Oh. And then he says, start reviewing Soda Pop. And that, believe it or not, is the last of a zillion comments. All I have to say is, for kind of the same reason as alcohol, I've tried my best to stay away from energy drinks because they are bad for you. I happen to really like everything I've had from Celsius. So, on the scale at this point in time, I'm going to give them my first 10. If only you could say, I wish I saw that every day. Smile Money says, cheers, leaving work now. Cheers, Smile Money. And then Rich says, cheers, Clubbers. And I need to get my ass upstairs before Sammy Poo gets here. Okay, cheers. We will see you tomorrow. Not, I don't know, probably close to the normal time. Leaving pretty damn early to head to Cotton with Mr. Brown to go to what I'm sure is going to be an awesome gun show. So, cheers, guys.